That's nice.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. So, if you didn't guess before, we are here to present the band instruments to you because in the fall you have the exciting opportunity to join the band, and we sure hope that you do. My name is Mr. Teeter, and I'm one of the band directors on this side of the district. I teach over at Emerson, and I brought my friends with me who are going to introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, my name is Mrs. Hunter and I teach at Washington and Lincoln.
I'm Mrs. Zimniak and I teach at Roosevelt and Lincoln.
And I'm Miss Augustitis. I'm Mr. Bachman's student teacher. He couldn't be here today, but he teaches at Franklin, Field, Carpenter, and Emerson.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're going to play some of these instruments. We're just going to start right away with the song. Yeah, we love applause. Thank you.
Cool.
So we're going to show you these instruments. Just real quick, how many of you are in orchestra right now playing violin, viola? Awesome. That's fantastic. We sure hope that you keep playing your orchestra instruments and playing in the orchestra because that's a great thing to do. We want to make sure that you have the invitation to join the band also if you wanted to. And then what about anyone that has an older brother or sister that plays in the band or orchestra? Awesome. So you've heard them practicing at home playing their instruments. And you kind of understand the value of practicing because we didn't wake up one day just knowing how to play the trombone or the trumpet or the French horn or the baritone. We had to spend a lot of time practicing to make them sound really good. And I'm going to say now, so if you have any questions through the presentation, just keep your hand down until the very end. We might answer your question as we go, and we also want to have enough time to get through everything for you, okay? You're going to get some packets at the end that has all the information that we talked about today, so if you forget something, totally fine. It's a lot of info. You're going to get a packet that says everything that we said. Great, so we're moving into this brass family. There's 4 families of instruments. We have the strings from the orchestra. We have the brass that you're looking at now. We also have percussion and woodwinds that we'll talk about briefly in a moment. But I want to show you the trombone. Trombone's like a bazooka, goes on your shoulder like this, and it can be loud like a bazooka. It can also be beautiful. But we play all the brass instruments kind of the same way. We buzz our lips. I know you can't see it through my mask. But I buzz my lips together, and then when I do that on the cup mouthpiece, it sounds like a trombone. Oh, it's beautiful. Isn't that lovely? It's going to sound better if we put it on the actual trombone itself. Right? So that's how that works. The buzz comes from our lips, goes into the cup mouthpiece, and then into the trombone. My trombone has a slide, and it can make the instrument bigger and smaller, and you can see it get bigger and smaller. What do you think happens to the sound when the instrument gets bigger? Does it go higher or lower?
Higher.
So who thinks higher? Who thinks lower? And who doesn't know? Yeah, I don't know either. We're going to find out together. Okay. Did it get higher or lower?
Higher. Lower.
It went lower. So the bigger the instrument, the lower the sound. On brass instruments, we change the buzz of our lips to get high and low sounds. I can also move my slide while I do that and get lots of sound. I love playing this trombone. It's a fun instrument. It can make race car sound. It's the only instrument that can do race cars. So if that's your passion in life is to make race car noises, play the trombone. You know, it can also do the sad trombone. movies and cartoons, and it can play lots of other songs too. But we don't want to just talk about the trombone today. We want to see the other instruments too. So we're going to move on over to the trumpet.
Alright, so the trumpet is also part of the brass family, and we also buzz into a mouthpiece. Is it smaller or larger than the trombone? Smaller. So do you think it's going to sound higher or lower than the trombone? Higher. Very good. And we were counting up here how many slide positions Mr. Teeter was playing on. Did you follow along with us? How many? There were 7 slide positions. Very good. So I don't have a slide, as you can see. I do have these 3 valves that I press down with my 3 fingers. And I have 7 different combinations using these 3, kind of like a secret code like the imposters. So the brass instrument family all have a similar code that we use. So we're going to play that all together. Today, right? A little rainy and a little bit sad, right? So I can also play songs on the trumpet by moving my lips and moving my airspeed without pressing any of the fingers down at all. So for this next song that I'm going to play for you, I'm going to need your participation. Can you help me out? Say yes. Yes. Excellent. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and after 3, you're going to say and they're off. 1, 2, 3.
And they're off.
You've got it. Has anybody watched the Kentucky Derby horse race this weekend? A couple of us. Great. So the Kentucky Derby is a race of really fast horses who are trying to win first prize. So I'm going to play a song for you, and then once I give you this big cue, you say,
and they're off.
You've got it. All right, the horses are at the gates.
And they're off.
So up next is the baritone of Mrs. Zinyak.
All right, this is the baritone, and it's basically like a little mini tuba. It's a member of the brass family, so we buzz our lips to make a sound. Just like trumpet, we also use our fingers to make 7 different combinations to play the different notes. And like the trombone, we have a larger mouthpiece. It's about the same size as the trombone, since we have a bigger instrument. Because the instrument is bigger, it makes nice low notes, and I love playing low notes on the baritone. Oh, thank you. I also love playing beautiful melodies on this instrument.
Mr. Teeter, that gets you every time. Give it up for Mrs. Zinyak.
Thank you. Did anyone recognize that tune? Somewhere over the rainbow, that's right. We're going to move on to the French horn now.
So this is the French horn. So my mouthpiece is the same size as the trumpet mouthpiece, but because my instrument is bigger, it actually sits in the middle between the trumpet and the baritone. Just like the trumpet, I also have 3 valves for the French horn, but the special thing about horn is that I also have this 4th valve here, my thumb valve. That thumb valve, because I have this first set of tubing in the front, if I turn my horn around, I have this second set of tubing back here. I can play twice the amount of notes as the trumpet can. Another unique thing about horn is that I have to put my hand in the valve when I play.
Imposter!
So sus.
So having my hand in the valve, I become one with the instrument because my hand helps create that beautiful, heroic sound. Without it, it wouldn't sound good. So you got to make sure that whenever you play the horn, your hand is in the bell. I'm going to play this tune for you and see if you know where it comes from. is that from? Do we know?
Yeah, really, really good.
You guys are amazing actors.
Thanks. We'll be here all week. So these instruments sound so fun, and they are a lot of fun to play. They sound great by themselves, but they sound even better when we play together. So here's another song with all of us together. Here we go. What was the name of that song?
I know that song.
You can say it, if you know it, you can just say it out loud. Yeah, Bang by AJR. So we're going to move into our percussion family, starting with the snare drum. Yeah, I always like to see who knows that song. So that's the snare drum. It sort of has this march-like sound to it, right? And I have like 8 things I want to say to you, and I can't say them all at the same time. So the word percussion has the word percuss in it, and percuss means to play, to strike or to hit. So we use sticks, or we use mallets, or sometimes our hands, or sometimes you see us using our feet. It's a whole body experience to play percussion. And on the snare drum, we play short sounds. And if I want to play longer sounds, I have to roll my sticks. Not like roll them, not like down the hill, but I roll them. If you watch carefully, you'll see my sticks hit the head of the snare drum 2 times apiece. And I go faster and faster. And that's how we get our roll. So I don't really move like sticks really fast. It's actually double bouncing to make that really fast sound. If you play percussion, you're not going to get a snare drum right away. You're actually going to get something called a practice pad, and that's we can do the same types of things on this as we do on the snare drum. But you will also get a big xylophone. It is exactly the same size as this one without the wheels. And then you can put that in your house, and everybody can play it, and it's a really great piece of furniture to add to your house, in your living room. So we're going to move on to the xylophone demonstration to hear some melodies.
So the xylophone is also part of the percussion family and functions kind of like a piano. Do we have any pianists in here? Fantastic, that's great. So percussion might be an option for you. All the instruments that you see in front of you don't need any musical experience, but the percussion section, we do ask that you have at least 1 year of piano experience. The reason why is because you're playing more than one instrument, right? You're playing the snare drum, you're playing the xylophone, you're playing auxiliary instruments such as the woodblock and the tambourine. Now don't worry, if you don't have piano experience, we won't eject you, okay? We have a lot of piano recommendations for you of different teachers that can help you out. All right, so the xylophone is like the piano, like I said before. The top keys are like the black keys of the piano, and the bottom ones are like the white keys. The xylophone that you see in front of you, they're all brown keys, but it functions like the same notes as the piano. I can play my scales, and I can play fun melodies. What song is that? Oh, it's a joy. Who's it by? Rhymes with Beethoven. Beethoven. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana.
Does anyone know what Beethoven's doing right now? Decomposing.
And when we play all of the percussion instruments together, we create a percussion ensemble.
So we have to transition. It takes us just a second, but we're going to move into the last family to discuss with you, and it's the woodwind family. Oh man, great family.
Oh yeah. Let's check it out. Let's go family.
Hey, does it look like we're having a good time up here?
Yes.
Yeah, we love this week. We have so much fun playing the instruments and making music for you. We love being able to show you the instruments, but more importantly, we like being able to show you what they sound like so that you can hear them and experience them and maybe choose something that makes you excited to be in the band next year. So here's another tune featuring the woodwinds. Toot, toot. What's the name of that song?
I don't know, but I like it.
Good. I
I
love that.
I've heard it.
I've been to, yes. So going up next, you're going to hear about the
Flute. The flute is a member of the woodwind family. And one thing that's different about woodwind instruments compared to brass is that we use all of our fingers to play the many keys on these instruments. So I want you to notice how the more fingers I push down, the lower my sound gets. Flute is also the only instrument that you don't blow directly into. Instead, you blow across this tone hole here. So it's similar to blowing across the top of a pop or soda bottle. Have you guys done that before? Yeah, it makes a low sound. You can make low sounds on flute. Also high sounds. And you can play all sorts of fun songs on the instrument too. Mrs. Harder's going to help me on this one.
beautiful curves. So, like Ms. Zimniak said, we blow directly into the other woodwind instrument. So you see this, it's a mouthpiece, this black thing. And what's next to it is this piece of wood called a reed, and it's a real piece of wood held together by this ligature. It's kind of like a strap, keeps it all nice and tight because when I blow into the mouthpiece, the reed vibrates really, really fast to create the saxophone sound. So I'll play a tune for you. See if you know this name. You might recognize it. Anybody know? Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or
You said ABCs.
ABCs. There's one more song. Lava Lassie. Yeah, exactly. So I was able to play with one melody 3 different tunes. So I play with the reed, but so does the clarinet.
They're jumping faster and faster every single time. So this is the clarinet, and like the other woodwinds, it's got lots of fingers, lots of buttons that we play. We can play fast sounds, we can play slow sounds. It's a wonderful instrument. Just like in the orchestra, how they have lots of violins. So orchestra folks, you can kind of fill us in on that. But there's lots of violins to get a big violin section sound, and we need a lot of clarinets in the band to get a big clarinet section sound too. Here's one more that's got some audience participation. I think you'll know.
SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants.
Look, if Squidward can play the clarinet with 8 tentacles, you can play the clarinet with 10 fingers. No big deal at all. So we're going to play one more song for you, and then we're going to pack it pass out to you that's got all of this information in it. So let's kick it off. And that song is You Got It, featured on the Super Bowl halftime this year. So fantastic tune. So we're going to get this packet passed out to you. Folks on Zoom, the packet got emailed to your parents. We can't pass it through the screen to you. That's not how science works. But we will. The packet has been sent to your parents. But thank you for being a wonderful class and a wonderful audience. And we sure hope that you think about joining the band in the fall. If you want, take a pencil right now and maybe circle or star one of the instruments or 2 of the instruments or all of the instruments.
I would like to play guitar.
Something